The stars stretched across the viewing screen of the starship horizon as Captain Kate Wilson settled into her command chair. Her dark hair was pulled back in a tight bun, and her blue uniform showed signs of a long shift. The mission to explore the outer systems had been uneventful until today. Sensors picked up an anomaly. Captain said Lieutenant Amy Green, her fingers moving across the control panel. It's some kind of ship. But unlike anything in our database on screen, Kate ordered, leaning forward. The viewing screen shifted to show a vessel unlike any human craft. It seemed to shimmer with an inner light, its hull made of something that looked more like crystal than metal. Try all communication frequencies. Kate said, her voice calm despite the tension that filled the bridge. For several minutes, Amy attempted contact while the unknown ship drifted closer to the horizon. It made no aggressive moves, but its presence put the entire crew on edge. Captain, I'm picking up a life form aboard, Amy said suddenly. The ship appears to be damaged and operating on minimal power. Only one life sign remains. Kate stood up. Her decision made. Prepare a rescue team. I'll lead it myself. The shuttle bay was busy with activity as Kate suited up alongside Security Officer Beth Winters and Medical Officer Dana Chase. The rescue mission was risky, but Kate couldn't ignore a distress situation even if it involved an unknown species. The shuttle journey to the alien vessel took only minutes. Once they docked, Kate led her team through an airlock that adapted to their technology almost intelligently. The interior of the ship was bathed in a soft blue light with corridors that seemed to be grown rather than built. Life sign is this way, Dana said, following her scanner. The air is breathable, but I recommend keeping suits on until we know more. They moved deeper into the vessel, passing rooms filled with technology beyond human understanding. Some machines pulsed with light, others were dark and lifeless. Evidence of damage was everywhere, with crystal-like materials cracked and broken. The life sign is just ahead, Beth said, her hand resting on her stunner just in case. Through that doorway, Kate took a deep breath and stepped through the doorway. The chamber beyond was larger than the others, with a central platform where a figure lay motionless. Kate approached slowly, her heart pounding. The alien was clearly female, with a humanoid upper body but covered in iridescent scales that shifted color. With each shallow breath, her legs were longer than human proportions would allow and ended in delicate clawed feet. Most striking was the long prehensile tail that curled around her body and the feathery antenna that extended from her forehead. She's injured? Dana said, running her scanner over the alien being. There appears to be internal bleeding, and her life signs are weak. Can you help her? Kate asked. Dana nodded. Detecting similarities to our physiology, I can stabilize her, but we need to get her to the horizon for proper treatment. As Dana worked, the alien's eyes suddenly opened. They were large and violet, with vertical pupils that widened in apparent fear. She tried to move but winced in pain, making a sound like wind chimes. It's okay, Kate said, holding up her hands in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. We're here to help you. The alien stared at Kate, her antennae quivering. She spoke, but the sounds were impossible for human vocal cords to replicate. A series of musical tones and clicks. We need to get her to our ship, Dana said. She's stable enough to move, but I can't do more here. Kate nodded and spoke to the alien again, pointing to herself, the alien, and then toward the direction of their shuttle. The alien seemed to understand and made no resistance as Beth and Kate carefully lifted her onto a stretcher. The journey back to the horizon was tense, with Dana constantly monitoring the alien's vital signs. Once aboard, they took her directly to the medical bay, where the full resources of the ship could be brought to bear. I need privacy to work, Dana said as crew members gathered to glimpse the ship's unusual guest. Captain, you should be present since you're in command, but everyone else clear out. Hours passed as Dana worked to save the alien visitor. Her medical knowledge was being tested to its limits, but her determination never wavered. Kate remained nearby, reviewing reports, but her attention kept returning to the mysterious being. Finally, Dana stepped back, wiping her brow. She's stable. I think she'll make it, though. Her biology is fascinating. The scales aren't. just for protection. They seem to help with respiration. And that tail contains an auxiliary circulatory system. The alien was now sleeping, peacefully on the medical bed, her chest rising and falling in a rhythm slightly faster than human normal. Her tail occasionally twitched in what Kate hoped were good dreams. "What about communication?" Kate asked. "I need to know who she is, where she came from, and if others are looking for her. Lieutenant Amy is working on a translation program based on the sound she made." Dana replied. "It might take time," as if summoned by the conversation. Amy entered the medical bay carrying a small device. "I've been analyzing her speech patterns and comparing them to her ship's computer logs," she explained. "It might not be perfect, but this should help." The device was placed near the alien, and within moments she began to stir. Her violet eyes opened again, focusing immediately on Kate. The alien spoke her musical language, flowing like water. The device hummed, then produced words in a synthetic voice. "Gratitude. Help me, you did." Death was coming. Kate stepped closer, smiling gently. "My name is Captain Kate Wilson of the Earthship Horizon. We found your vessel damaged and rescued you." The alien's antennae moved in complex patterns that the humans could not interpret. The translator converted more of her speech. "I am called the device." Paused, struggling, with the sounds, then settled on a simplified version, "Zira. My ship attacked. Was hunters came. Find new worlds. New species. I escaped barely." "Who are these hunters?" Kate asked, concern growing. "Were they the ones who damaged your ship, Zira?" Nodded a gesture. She seemed to have learned through observation ancient race collectors of biology. "Take species, study them, sometimes destroy them. My people hidden for generations, but found us they did. Coming this way they are." Kate felt a chill run down her spine. "If these hunters were heading toward Earth space rest now," Kate said, placing a hand near Zira's arm without touching her, "you're safe here. We'll talk more when you're stronger." When Kate left the medical bay, she immediately called a meeting of her senior staff. The situation had suddenly become much more complex. They had rescued an alien refugee and possibly drawn the attention of a hostile species. In her quarters that night, Kate reviewed everything they had learned about Zira and her people. The information was limited but fascinating. Zira's species called themselves the Lyrith, a spacefaring race with technology far beyond Earth's. Their crystalline ships used some form of consciousness-driven propulsion that human science had yet to understand. Kate wondered what other secrets Zira might reveal and whether the Lyrith could become allies against these mysterious hunters. She also wondered about Zira herself. There was something graceful and compelling about the alien woman, something that made Kate want to learn more. Little did Kate know that their chance encounter would change the destiny of both their species. And it all began because she decided to rescue a stranger among the stars. 3 days passed before Zira was strong enough to leave the medical bay. Dana had worked tirelessly to understand the alien's biology, creating treatments that helped her recover faster than expected. The translation device had also improved, allowing for more complex conversations. Kate entered the medical bay to find Zira sitting up, her tail swishing slowly back and forth. When the alien saw Kate, her antennae perked up in what the crew had come to recognize as "Pleasure, Captain." Kate, the translator, converted Zira's musical speech. "My strength returns thanks to your healer." Kate smiled, glad to see the improvement. "Dana says you'll be able to move to guest quarters today. If you're feeling up to it, I'd like to show you around the ship." Zira stood revealing, her full height of nearly 7 feet. Her movements were fluid and graceful despite her recent injuries. "Honor me," that what she said through the translator, which still struggled with word order. As they walked through the corridors of the horizon, crew members stopped to stare. Many had never seen an alien before, and Zira's appearance was striking. Her scales shimmered with blues and purples in the ship's lighting, and her tail maintained perfect balance as she walked. "This is our hydroponics," Kate explained, leading Zira into a large room filled with plants growing under artificial light. "We grow much of our own food." Here Zira moved among the plants, her antennae extended fully. "Life you nurture among the stars," she said, her voice filled with what sounded like approval. "My people do similar, but with crystal gardens that sing when touched." Kate watched as Zira gently touched a tomato plant. My chief engineer Tina would love to hear about your crystal technology, she said. They continued. The tour visiting engineering, the recreation areas, and finally the observation deck, where the vastness of space stretched before them. Zira stood transfixed by the view, her tail moving in slow, deliberate patterns. Beautiful, Kate said, gesturing toward the starfield. Zira turned her violet eyes reflecting the starlight. The void between connects us all, she replied. One people under same stars we are. Though different forms, Kate found herself fascinated by Zira's perspective. The alien woman saw connections, where humans often saw divisions. It was refreshing. Over the next week, Zira became a familiar presence on the ship. She spent hours in engineering with Tina, discussing the crystal technology of her people. She visited hydroponics daily, helping tend the plants with techniques that improved yields, and she often sat with Kate in the mess hall learning about human culture. The crew had initially been wary, but Zira's gentle nature and curiosity won them over. Many had taken to calling her Shimmer, because of how her scales caught the light. Zira seemed pleased by the nickname, explaining through the translator that names were gifts among her people. One evening, Kate found Zira in the observation lounge staring at unfamiliar star patterns. You look troubled, Kate said. Joining her, Zira turned her antennae, drooping slightly. Missing home I am, she admitted. The hunters will have moved on by now. Safe my colony should be. Tell me about your home. Kate encouraged. Zira's eyes seemed to brighten. Crystal, cities we build that grow with thought. Not construct but nurture harmony with world around, families connected by song and memory. It sounds beautiful, Kate said sincerely. Zira moved closer, her tail swishing thoughtfully. Would show you, if could she, said before the translator could continue. The ship's alarm blared. Captain, to the bridge came Beth's voice over the comm. Unidentified vessels approaching fast. Kate and Zira rushed to the bridge where the crew was already at battle stations. 3 ships had appeared seemingly from nowhere, their design unlike anything in Earth records. The hunters. Zira set her antennae rigid with fear. Found me, they have. The ships are scanning us. Amy reported from her station. They're focusing on life signs shields. Up, Kate ordered. Red alert before they could raise shields completely. A beam of energy struck the horizon. The ship shuddered, but held. Captain, they're hailing us. Amy said on screen. Kate replied, standing tall. The viewer showed a being that barely looked organic. Its skin was gray and stretched tight over an elongated skull. Mechanical implants protruded from its face and body. When it spoke, the voice was cold and artificial. We detect non-human life form aboard your vessel. The hunter said. Return the specimen to us and we will spare your ship. Resist and we will take it by force. Kate felt anger rise within her. Zira is under our protection, she replied. She is not a specimen. The hunter tilted its head. The creature belongs to us, for study. Its biology will advance our evolution. You have no claim. The transmission ended abruptly. They're powering weapons, Amy warned. Evasive maneuvers. Kate ordered. Target the lead ship. Return fire. The horizon banked sharply as energy beams cut through space where they had just been. The ship's weapons fired in response, but the hunter vessels seemed to absorb the impacts with minimal damage. Their shields are adapting, Tina called from the engineering station. Our weapons are becoming less effective with each hit. Kate turned to Zira. Do you know any weaknesses they have? Zira moved to a console, her long fingers dancing across the controls. Crystal resonance, she said. Her words came faster than the translator could keep up, but the meaning was clear. She was attempting to create a feedback loop using the frequency of the horizon shields. The hunter ships use technology similar to her people's and might be vulnerable to certain harmonics. Let her work. Kate told the crew while continuing evasive maneuvers. The horizon took another hit, this one causing damage to the lower decks. Shield strength at 60%. Amy reported. Zira worked frantically adjusting frequencies and power levels. Almost ready, she said. The lead hunter ship moved into position for what looked like a killing blow. Its energy weapons glowed with power. Now, Zira shouted. Tina activated the modified shield, sending a pulse of energy at a specific frequency toward the hunter vessels. The effect was immediate. The ships seemed to shudder, their shields flickering. Fire everything, Kate ordered. The Horizon's weapons struck true this time. The lead hunter ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, and the other two vessels quickly retreated, jumping to faster-than-light travel the bridge. Crew cheered, but Kate noticed Zira had collapsed to the floor. Dana rushed to her side scanner in hand. "She's exhausted," Dana reported. The energy manipulations taxed her system. "Get her to medical hours later." Kate sat beside Zira's bed in the medical bay. The alien woman was sleeping, her scales dulled from exertion, but her vital signs were stable. Her tail occasionally twitched in what Dana assured was normal sleep movement. Kate gently placed her hand near Zira's. "Thank you," she whispered. "You saved us all." To her surprise, Zira's tail moved, wrapping loosely around her wrist. It was warm and surprisingly soft. The gesture seemed intimate somehow, a connection between their species that transcended words. When Zira finally woke, her violet eyes found Kate. "Immediately safe we are?" she asked. "Safe, thanks to you," Kate replied. "But the hunters know about humans now. We're all in danger." Zira sat up slowly, her antennae extending toward Kate. "Alliance we need," she said. "My people technology, have yours. Courage, has together stronger. We would be." Kate considered the proposal. The Horizon had been sent to explore and establish diplomatic relations with any intelligent life they encountered. An alliance with the Lyrith against a common enemy made strategic sense, but as she looked at Zira, Kate realized this was becoming more than diplomacy. She had grown to care for the alien woman. Her grace, intelligence, and courage were admirable, regardless of species. "I would like to meet your people," Kate said. "And I believe Earth would welcome an alliance." Zira's scales brightened with what Kate now recognized as happiness. Her tail continued to hold Kate's wrist in a gentle embrace. "Guide you to my world. I will," Zira promised. "Through stars together we travel." As Dana entered to check on her patient, Kate realized that their chance encounter had indeed become something much more significant. The rescue of one alien woman might have just changed the course of two civilizations. And it all began because Kate couldn't ignore someone in need. The journey to the Lyrith homeworld took 3 weeks. Following the coordinates Zira provided, the Horizon traveled deeper into unexplored space than any human vessel had gone before. During that time, Zira became an unofficial member of the crew, helping in engineering and teaching the humans about the species they might encounter. Kate found herself spending most of her free time with the alien woman. They would sit for hours in the observation lounge discussing their respective cultures and beliefs. Despite their physical differences, Kate was struck by how similar they were in their core values. Both believed in protecting the innocent, exploring the unknown, and building connections rather than walls. Zira had also formed a close friendship with Tina, the chief engineer. Together they had integrated some of Zira's crystal technology into the Horizon systems, improving shields and sensors. The modifications would prove crucial in the days ahead. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates," Lieutenant Amy called from her station. "Dropping out of warp in 321. The stars stopped streaking past the view screen, revealing a stunning sight. A planet orbited a binary star system, its surface gleaming with what appeared to be crystal formations that caught and reflected the twin suns' light. Several smaller ships similar to Zira's original vessel moved in precise patterns around the planet were being scanned. Beth reported from Tactical, "Numerous ships are moving to intercept. Open a channel," Kate ordered. When the communication system was ready, she spoke clearly. "My name is Captain Kate Wilson of the Earth vessel Horizon. We come in peace, escorting Zira of the Lyrith back to her homeworld." There was no immediate response, but the approaching ships slowed their advance. "They are cautious," Zira explained, her antennae twitching with what Kate had learned was nervousness. "The hunter's attack made them wary." "Allow me." Zira stepped forward and sang a complex melody that the translator didn't attempt to convert. The sound filled the bridge, beautiful and haunting. The response was immediate. A similar melody came through the communication system, followed by words the translator rendered as "Daughter of Crystal. Welcome home. Bring your human friends to the surface, the matriarch will receive you. Zira turned to Kate, her scales brightening with joy. They welcome us, she said. The highest honor this is. Kate selected a small landing party consisting of herself, Dana, Tina, Beth, and 2 other crew members. They took a shuttle down to the planet's surface guided by Lyrith vessels. The view during descent was breathtaking. Crystal spires rose from the landscape, connecting to form cities that glittered in the dual sunlight. They landed on a crystal platform that seemed to respond to their presence, shifting slightly to create a perfect dock for the shuttle. As they stepped out, Kate felt lighter than expected. Gravity less here, Zira explained. Our world smaller than Earth. They were met by a delegation of Lyrith, all female with scales in various colors. Their antennae moved in synchronized patterns that Kate assumed was some form of communication. Beyond the translator, Zira made musical sounds in response and gestured toward Kate. The eldest Lyrith stepped forward. Her scales were silver with age, but her movements remained graceful. Captain Kate Wilson, the translator, converted her speech. Welcome to Lyria, first humans to visit our world. You saved daughter of our crystal. For this gratitude, Eternal Kate bowed slightly. A gesture she'd learned was respectful among the Lyrith. We are honored by your welcome. Matriarch Zira has become a valued friend to us. We hope this meeting can be the beginning of friendship. Between our peoples, the matriarch led them through crystal pathways that shifted and changed as they walked. The city was alive in ways Kate could barely comprehend. Crystal formations grew from the ground, forming buildings, bridges, and what appeared to be art. Lyrith citizens watched the humans with obvious curiosity, their antennae extended and tails swishing. The central chamber they entered was vast, a dome of crystal that fractured sunlight into thousands of rainbows. The matriarch took her, placed on a raised platform surrounded by 12 elder Lyrith, their scales in various metallic hues. Speak of the hunters, Zira. The matriarch commanded. Zira stepped forward and described their encounter with the hunter ships. She explained how the humans had rescued her and then fought alongside her against the common enemy. Her tale moved in complex patterns, adding emphasis to her words in a way the humans couldn't fully understand. When she finished, the matriarch turned to Kate. Is alliance what you seek? Kate nodded. Our peoples face a common threat. The hunters now know of Earth and will likely target us as they have targeted you. Together we might stand against them. The Council of Elders made musical sounds, conferring among themselves. Finally, the matriarch spoke. The hunters' ancient enemy are, long have we hidden, avoided confrontation. Our technology defensive primarily. Your species different is more aggressive, perhaps complement each other. We might. One of the elders moved forward, her blue scales almost translucent. Show them the prophecy, she suggested. The matriarch considered, then nodded. The crystal in the center of the chamber began to glow brighter. Patterns formed within it. Images that shifted and changed. Kate saw what appeared to be Lyrith and humans standing together against shadowy figures with mechanical parts. Generations ago this vision came to our seers. The matriarch explained, species different yet aligned strong in different ways together, becoming stronger. 2 lights against the coming darkness. Believe we did not that humans the partners would be. Until Zira returned with tales of your courage and compassion, Kate was stunned. The Lyrith had foreseen their meeting. This alliance was part of something larger. Rest this night. Honored guests, the matriarch said. Tomorrow, formal alliance we discuss. The humans were given quarters in a crystal tower that adjusted to their comfort preferences. Kate found herself in a room that somehow reminded her of her childhood home, though constructed of entirely different materials. Through her window she could see the twin suns setting, casting the crystal city in golden light. A soft musical tone indicated someone at her door. Kate opened it to find Zira. Waiting, may enter. The alien asked. Of course, Kate welcomed her in. I've never seen anything like your world. It's beautiful. Zira moved to the window, her tail swishing with what Kate now recognized as pride. Home it is, she said. But different now feels After time on your ship among humans. Among you, Kate noticed Zira's scales had taken on a slight reddish hue. Something she hadn't seen before. The matriarch believes in this alliance, Kate said. But what do you believe? Zira turned her violet eyes. Intense meant to be it is, she said. Not just because of prophecy, because right it is, our peoples balance each other. Your courage, our patience, your innovation, our stability. She moved closer, her antennae extending toward Kate in a gesture that among the Lyrith indicated deep trust. More to say, I have. Zira continued. In my culture, when life saved is bond formed is yours, I am by choice. Not obligation. Kate felt a warmth spread through her at Zira's words. The connection between them had grown stronger, each day transcending their biological differences and cultural barriers. Whatever comes next, she said, well, face it together. Zira's tail gently wrapped around Kate's arm, a gesture that had become familiar and comforting. That night, as the alien moons rose over the crystal city, Kate realized how far she had come from being a simple explorer. The rescue of one alien woman had led to first contact with an advanced civilization, a potential alliance against a deadly enemy, and a personal connection that defied conventional understanding in her own quarters. Zira settled onto her sleeping platform, her thoughts on Kate and the humans. The matriarch had been surprised by her closeness to the Earth captain, but had not disapproved the prophecy. Spoke of bonds between their species, bonds that would be necessary to survive what was coming. As she drifted to sleep, her tail swished with contentment. The hunters were still a threat, but for the first time in generations, the Lyrith were not facing that threat alone. And Zira herself had found something she never expected among the stars, a connection to someone who saw beyond her alien appearance to who she truly was. Kate stared out at the crystal city, thinking about tomorrow's negotiations. The alliance would need to be carefully constructed to benefit both species. There would be technological exchanges, cultural learning, and military cooperation. But most importantly, there would be friendship, a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. The fate of two worlds now rested on the shoulders of those who had once been strangers. But Kate was confident they would find a way forward together. 3 days passed before the Lyrith emerged from their underground shelters. They found a changed world. Much of their crystal city lay in ruins, but the hunter threat had been eliminated. Their orbital sensors confirmed no hunter ships remained. In the system, the survivors gathered in what remained of the central chamber to assess the damage and plan for rebuilding. The Horizon remained in orbit. Despite substantial damage, Captain Kate had refused to leave until she was certain the hunters were truly gone. And until she knew whether Zira would survive. In the ship's medical bay, Dana worked tirelessly alongside Lyrith healers who had been transported aboard. Their combined knowledge of medicine and crystal technology represented the only hope for Zira, who remained unconscious, her scales dull and lifeless. Kate divided her time between coordinating relief efforts for the Lyrith and sitting at Zira's bedside. The alien woman had saved her life multiple times during the battle. Her bravery and sacrifice deserved nothing less than Kate's complete dedication to her recovery. On the 4th day, Kate was on the bridge reviewing damage reports when Dana called through the communicator. Captain, you should come to medical bay right away. Kate rushed through the corridors, her heart pounding. When she arrived, she found Dana standing beside Zira's bed, smiling. The alien woman was awake, her scales showing hints of their former luster. Her antennae extended weakly toward Kate. She asked. For you, Dana said. The translator is still being repaired, but I think she wants to speak with you. Kate moved to Zira's side, taking her hand gently. I'm here, she said. You're safe. We've won. The hunters are gone. Zira made a soft musical sound. Her tail twitched, slightly against the bed. She's trying to say something, Dana observed. Kate leaned closer, straining to understand. Then she realized Zira was attempting to speak English again. Without the translator, Kate. The alien whispered the name, clearly audible. Those strained nickname you gave me. What was? Kate smiled, remembering how the crew had started calling Zira Shimmer because of her iridescent scales. Shimmer, she said. Is that okay? Zira's scales brightened noticeably. Shimmer, she repeated the human word carefully. Good gift. Name bond between us. Kate felt tears form in her eyes. Yes, she agreed. It's our bond over the next week. Zira recovered steadily. Her natural healing abilities enhanced by Lyrith crystal treatments and human medicine created a remarkable recovery. The Lyrith healers were impressed by Dana's approach combining traditional treatment with innovative techniques. That collaboration became a model for the ongoing alliance. On the planet below, reconstruction had begun. The Lyrith were resilient, their crystal technology allowing them to regrow structures rather than rebuild them conventionally. Human engineering ideas helped make the new designs more resistant to attack. The cooperative effort strengthened bonds between the species. 2 weeks after the battle, Kate stood in the observation lounge watching the crystal city slowly take new shape. The damage was still extensive, but progress was visible. New towers rose from the ruins growing organically from the planet's energy. The door slid open and Zira entered. Her movements were slower than before, but her scales had regained most of their luster. She wore a modified Horizon uniform with special accommodations for her tail and different proportions. The matriarch, request your presence tomorrow. Kate Zira said, her English much improved, though still accented with musical tones. The formal alliance ceremony. Kate nodded. The Earth government has authorized me to sign the treaty, she replied. They were impressed by the reports and eager to establish official relations. Zira moved closer, her tail swishing in what Kate now recognized as happiness. Her antennae extended forward, a gesture of affection among the Lyrith. What will happen after, she asked. Will you return to Earth? Kate turned to face her. The Horizon has new orders, she explained. We're to remain here as the official Earth embassy, while relief and reconstruction continue. She hesitated, then added, I requested the assignment. Zira's scales brightened, with subtle blue tones. You wish to stay with my friend? Kate said, smiling. Yes, unless you want me to leave. Zira's tail gently wrapped around Kate's wrist, in their now familiar gesture of connection. Stay, she said. You belong here now. With us. With me. The formal ceremony the next day was held in the partially rebuilt council chamber. Lyrith and humans gathered to witness the historic alliance. The matriarch presided, her silver scales gleaming in the light of the twin suns. Captain Kate Wilson of Earth. The matriarch began. Thanks to you and your crew, survival was possible. The hunters defeated were great debt we owe. Kate bowed respectfully. Both our peoples fought bravely, she replied. The victory belongs to all of us. The alliance we forged today will ensure neither of us faces such threats alone again. The treaty was signed with Earth ceremonial ink and Lyrith crystal imprints. A new era had begun for both species. That evening, a celebration was held. Crystal formations throughout the city were illuminated, creating a spectacular light show. Lyrith music filled the air, complex and beautiful. Human crew members mingled with Lyrith citizens, sharing stories and forming friendships. Kate found herself on a balcony overlooking the festivities. Zira joined her, the alien woman moving with increasing strength each day. Your nickname for me, Zira said. Shimmer, I have been thinking about it. Kate turned curious. What about it? In my culture, names have power. Zira explained. They shape destiny. When you called me Shimmer, you gave me new purpose, new identity. Not just Lyrith, but something more. Something between our worlds. Kate had never considered the implications. I just thought it suited you, she admitted. Because of how your scales catch the light. Zira moved closer, her tail swishing gently. I have gift for you, she said. Since you gave me name, I give you one in return. In my language, she made a musical sound that Kate could never hope to reproduce. What does it mean? Kate asked. One who brings light to darkness. Zira translated, one who changes paths. The celebration continued below, but in that moment the universe seemed to narrow to just the two of them. Human and alien, brought together by chance and kept together by choice. Their differences were many, but their connection transcended physical form. 6 months later, the Horizon prepared for its journey back to Earth. Its mission to establish the Alliance, complete a permanent Earth embassy, had been constructed in the rebuilt Crystal City. Most of the crew would return home, but some had chosen to remain as part of the ongoing cultural exchange. Kate stood in her ready room reviewing final reports. The door chimed and Zira entered, now wearing the official insignia of Lyrith Ambassador. To Earth, ready for departure? Ambassador Kate asked, smiling. Zira nodded, her antennae extended in excitement. My first visit to your world, she said. Looking forward to seeing oceans and forests and snow. The matriarch believes I will represent our people. Well, I know you will, Kate agreed. You understand humans better than any of your people, and the Earth government is eager to meet you. Zira moved to the viewport, watching as final preparations were made below. Her tail swished with anticipation. Strange journey this has been, she observed. From damaged ship to alliance, from enemies to friends. She turned to Kate. From strangers to family. Kate felt warmth spread through her at the words. Family. She agreed against all odds. The horizon broke orbit that evening, beginning its long journey to Earth. Zira spent hours in the observation lounge, watching her homeworld fade into the distance. It was her first time leaving the Lyrith system, but she showed no fear, only curiosity about what lay ahead. Each night when the ship was quiet, she would often join Kate in the captain's quarters. They would talk for hours about their respective worlds, sharing stories and building plans for the future of their alliance. Sometimes they would simply sit in comfortable silence, Zira's tail occasionally brushing against Kate's arm in their private gesture of connection. And later, when the ship was dark and the stars streaked past the viewport, Zira would curl up on the specially designed bed in her quarters. Her tail would swish with contentment as she drifted to sleep, dreaming of crystal cities and ocean waves, of twin suns and a single moon, of a future where differences were celebrated and connections transcended. Form Kate had given her a nickname. Now she slept on the ship, tail swishing happily, and both their worlds were forever changed. The formal alliance negotiations began at first light. Kate and her team sat across from the Lyrith Council, in a chamber that amplified sound in unusual ways. The acoustics were perfect for the musical language of the Lyrith, while still allowing the human translator to function. The matriarch opened proceedings by presenting a crystal sphere to Kate. It pulsed with inner light, responding to touch with subtle color changes. A gift, she explained, our most advanced communication. Crystal connected. To our network, it is distance no barrier. Messages instant across light years. Kate accepted the gift with appropriate reverence. Earth has much less to offer. Technologically, she admitted. But we bring determination, innovation, and a willingness to fight alongside you against any threat. The negotiations continued through the day, with both sides presenting their strengths and needs. The Lyrith offered crystal technology for communication and defense, while the humans offered tactical knowledge and their unique approach to problem solving. By evening, a framework for cooperation had been established. The Horizon would return to Earth with Lyrith representatives, while some of Kate's crew would remain on Lyria to begin cultural and technological exchange. Zira would continue her role as primary liaison between the species. As the meeting concluded, the ground suddenly trembled. Crystal structures throughout the city resonated with a low tone that made Kate's teeth ache. The Lyrith Council members extended their antennae in alarm. Orbital defenses breached. The matriarch announced, her musical voice sharp with urgency. Hunter ships approaching. They found us. Kate tapped her communicator. Horizon report, Lieutenant. Amy responded. Captain, multiple vessels have appeared in system. They're not responding to hails and are moving toward the planet. How many? Kate demanded. At least 12. Amy replied. Much larger than the ones we encountered before. The matriarch turned to Kate. Their numbers grow. She observed. They have not attacked in such force before. Desperate they must be. We need to evacuate key personnel. Kate said, thinking quickly. The Horizon can transport some of your people to safety. The matriarch shook her head. Abandon our home. We will. Not fought the hunters for generations. We have. Defenses we have. As if to emphasize her point, crystal towers throughout the city began to shift, forming what appeared to be weapon emplacements. Energy fields shimmered into existence, creating a dome over the central city. Impressive, Kate acknowledged. But will it be enough? Before the matriarch could respond, a series of explosions rocked the outer crystal formations. Hunter ships had begun orbital bombardment, targeting the planet's defensive systems. Zira moved to Kate's side, her tail swishing with agitation. "Help us fight," she pleaded. "Your ship weapons has our defenses to complement." Kate nodded and contacted the Horizon order came quickly. "Launch all fighters. Coordinate with Lyrith defense grid target. Hunter vessels protect the city." The space battle was visible from the planet's surface. Energy weapons cut across the sky as Earth and Lyrith vessels engaged the Hunter ships. Despite being outnumbered, the Alliance fought with determination. The Horizons, conventional weapons combined with Lyrith crystal technology, created attack patterns the Hunters had never encountered before. On the ground, Kate organized her team to assist with city defenses. Several Hunter landing craft had broken through attempting to deploy ground forces. The Hunters themselves were horrifying up close. Their gray bodies, enhanced with mechanical parts, moved with unnatural precision. Their weapons fired energy that corroded crystal on contact. Kate and Beth took defensive positions alongside Lyrith warriors. The aliens fought with crystal staffs that channeled energy in devastating bursts, while the humans used their phasers to create crossfire. "We need to target their implants," Kate called to her team. The mechanical parts seem vulnerable to energy overload. The battle raged through the crystal streets. Hunters fell, but more kept coming. Their single-minded determination was terrifying. They showed no fear, no hesitation, only the drive to capture and consume. Zira fought nearby, her movements graceful even in combat. Her crystal staff danced through the air, leaving trails of energy that sliced through Hunter armor. Kate found herself watching the alien woman with admiration, despite the danger. A Hunter broke through their line, charging directly at Kate. Its mechanical arms extended razor-sharp implements gleaming. She fired her phaser, but the Hunter kept coming. Then suddenly, it was thrown sideways by a powerful blow. Zira stood there, her staff crackling with energy. Her scales had darkened to deep purple, a sign of combat readiness among her people. "Harm her not," she growled at the fallen Hunter. "Mine she is." The Hunter rose again, undeterred. Kate fired repeatedly at its mechanical components, causing sparks and smoke. Zira struck with her staff, hitting the same spots. The Hunter finally collapsed, its systems overloaded. "More," Kate gasped, pointing to a new wave approaching from a landing craft. They fought back-to-back, human and Lyrith, against the relentless enemy. When Kate's phaser overheated, Zira handed her a crystal dagger that hummed with energy. When Zira's staff was damaged, Kate provided covering fire, allowing her to retrieve a new weapon from a fallen Lyrith warrior in orbit. The Horizon took heavy damage but continued to fight. Amy had coordinated with Lyrith vessels to create a defensive perimeter around the planet. The Hunters' superior numbers were balanced by the unexpected alliance and their inability to predict human tactics. "Captain, the crystal defense grid is failing," Beth reported between attacks. "If they breach the inner city, the civilian population will be vulnerable." Kate looked at Zira. "Do your people have evacuation shelters?" Zira nodded. "Crystal caverns below, deep and protected, connected to the core energy. Get your people there," Kate ordered. Then to her communicator. "Horizon, target the largest Hunter vessel with everything we've got. Draw their attention away from the city." The plan worked. The Hunters redirected their attack toward the Horizon, giving the Lyrith time to move civilians to safety. Kate and her team provided cover, holding a crucial intersection, while thousands of Lyrith moved through crystal tunnels that sealed behind them. The matriarch approached Kate, her silver scales dulled with exhaustion. "Join us below," she urged. "The surface soon lost will be." Kate shook her head. "We need to maintain communication with our ship," she explained. "My place is here." The matriarch studied her for a moment, then extended her antennae in a gesture of respect. "Brave you are, Captain Kate Wilson of Earth, like Lyrith warriors of old. Take this." She pressed a crystal pendant into Kate's hand. It glowed with inner light protection. "It offers," the matriarch explained, "and connection to our network. From anywhere, call for aid. You can with that." The matriarch departed, following her people to safety. Kate turned to Zira. "You should go with them." Zira stood firm, her tail wrapping around Kate's arm. "Stay with you." "I will," she insisted. "Where?" "You fight, I fight." The battle continued through the night. The Crystal City gradually fell to the Hunters section. By section, Kate and her remaining team members fought a strategic retreat, keeping in contact with the horizon while leading the Hunters away from the underground shelters. By dawn, they were exhausted. Their numbers had dwindled. Beth had been injured, her arm badly burned by a hunter weapon. Dana worked feverishly to treat wounds while still moving with the group captain. Amy called. Through the communicator, the Hunter's flagship is positioning for what looks like a final attack. Their other vessels are converging on your position. Kate looked at her team at Zira at the Crystal City, now partially in ruins. She touched the pendant. The matriarch had given her, feeling it warm to her touch. "I have an idea," she said. The plan was desperate, but with few options remaining, it was their best hope. Kate explained that the crystal network connecting Lyrith technology drew power from the planet's core. If they could create a feedback loop through the remaining defense grid, they might be able to overload the hunter ship systems. The risk was enormous. Such an energy surge could destroy much of the Crystal City and damage the horizon, but it might be their only chance to defeat the Hunter. Zira worked with Tina to reconfigure the crystal nodes. Kate had distributed her team strategically, each holding position near a crucial junction in the network. When the Hunter flagship began its final approach, Kate gave the order: activate the surge. Energy pulsed through the crystal network building in intensity. The remaining towers glowed brighter and brighter. Hunter ground forces faltered, their mechanical implants affected by the growing energy field in orbit. The pulse hit the Hunter vessels like a wave. Their shields failed. Systems overloaded. Secondary explosions cascaded through their fleet. The flagship broke apart, massive sections drifting away from each other. On the surface, Kate and her team shielded their eyes as crystal structures shattered around them. The energy pulse had worked, but at great cost. Much of the beautiful city lay in ruins. As the dust settled, Kate looked for Zira. The alien woman lay nearby. Her scales had gone pale and her breathing was shallow. "Zira," Kate called, rushing to her side. Dana helped. Dana scanned Zira with her medical device. "The energy surge affected her worse than us," she reported. "The crystal technology is connected to their biology somehow." Kate took Zira's hand, feeling the weak grip of her scaled fingers. "Stay with me," she pleaded. "You can't leave now." "We've won." Zira's violet eyes opened slowly. Her antennae moved weakly toward Kate. "Victory," she whispered, her voice barely registering. "On the translator, worth the price, no." Kate insisted, "You're going to be fine. The Horizon's medical bay can help you. Dana can help you."